If you ever wondered what really went on behind the scenes in some of the biggest rock bands of our time, you can now go online and listen for yourself. Hundreds of hours of audio interviews with dozens of bands, including the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, are now streaming free at the Library of Congress website. Eric Sorensen had a listen.
Hey, hey, you got all my class.
They're almost 70 years old, and their concerts still sell out.
Around, boy, to the crowd on my path.
The Rolling Stones' new tour is underway, 50 and counting. That's 50 years of touring. Nostalgia for one generation.
Best show, probably ever.
Yet music that's still cool for the next.
All generation, father, son.
The Stones may be the greatest rock band of all time, but half a century ago, they had competition. In old interviews just released some insight into that relationship. Mick Jagger admitted his bandmates envied the Beatles, and he was very conscious of the rivalry.
I think it was very competitive. I mean, I think it still is competitive. It's a very competitive business.
You say goodbye, and I say hello.
Fact is, the Beatles were bigger at the time, and both groups got into drugs. Paul McCartney suggesting the Beatles didn't get as blitzed as the Stones.
Sgt. Pepper owes a lot to drugs, to pot and stuff. That was us getting into that. It was rather innocent compared to what you talk about these days. We were never sort of out of it on the floor like you'd hear about Stones sessions.
The Beatles-Stones rivalry lasted just a few years. The Beatles broke up. Some blamed John Lennon's infatuation with Yoko Ono. Not so, said Ono in another interview.
I didn't break up the Beatles. The Beatles were getting very independent. John, in fact, was not the first one who wanted to leave the Beatles. Paul was the only one who was trying to hold the Beatles together. But then again, the other three felt that Paul was trying to hold the Beatles together as his band.
Close your eyes and I'll kiss you.
He didn't hold the Beatles together, yet Paul kept going. Still a mega star today. And so are the Stones, remarkably still touring at 50 years and counting.
I wanna be your man.
Eric Sorensen, Global News, Washington.